In this video, we have to try and pull out every move in the book to beat the meta, while also trying to survive some of these really harsh penalties. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Beat the Meta! That's right, we're doing it in the Peugeot RCZ, my baby! I love this car. This was the very first car I properly tried to compete for the World Series, of course, if you remember way back in GT Sport. I went pretty solo, essentially, in Peugeot, and nearly made it as well. Unfortunately, a disconnect ruined that story. However, we bring you a new story now. It's the Peugeot RCZ, essentially, versus that Toyota Supra. The meta car of all meta cars. Let's get a bit of a bump draft there from Hellsfire. Also a World Tour finalist as well. I see you, Hellsfire, as we head up the hill then. And we're in the Peugeot. We're racing the Macao at the moment. The Toyota Supras are all near the front, obviously, because they're completely OP. You saw that in an earlier video. So we're looking at this McLaren then. Down the inside we go into the braking zone. No, we pull out of that. We're just not far along enough there to really make that move work without causing a bit of an issue there. And I didn't want to cause an issue as Hellsfire now looking to make an issue, going down that inside then in the right-hander in that Nissan GTR. So that's the 18 car, not the 13 car. That's also a very good car here, and you saw that earlier in the week as well in that other video. I've done a lot of videos this week, and it continues throughout this week, which is good. I love it. I'm addicted to making videos right now as we head towards the right-hander then, and we're in a train of cars here, an absolute train of cars. A gaggle, if we want to call it that. Through the right-hander we go then. That McLaren all over the back of the Supra of Harpic Mick. And we're looking to get the job done, essentially. So what is Beat the Meta for those new to the channel? Beat the Meta is essentially, we know the meta car, the best car, the most tactical car to pick is the Supra. That's why it's called Meta, Beat the Meta. So we're trying to beat that meta by picking a non-strong car. Or, well, basically not the Supra, which in this case is the RCZ as Hellsfire looking down the inside. Good side by side with Hellsfire here as we head towards this left-hander. Now, we could have picked the GTR, of course, because, again, that's not the meta car, but it's a very good car here. I wanted to pick something a bit less here as we head into the right-hander. But still side by side here with Hellsfire. This is beautiful racing. It really is. And Hellsfire looks like they're going to get the job done here. Well played. Beautiful racing there. Absolutely fantastic. As we continue on, we are still in last, essentially, here at the moment, though. It's not the greatest as we head down in towards the left-hander then. We've got 2, 3 wide potential. Oh, bit of contact there. I saw that. We've got Pouty there stuck in the middle. We're going to go down the inside. Going to be outside then for the right-hander as we head into the braking zone. Actually going to go around the outside of the McLaren as well. Can we do everybody around the outside? Look at this. As we beat on out of here quickly, the McLaren does give me room there. Fair play to you. As does the BMW. Poufy. And we've also got the alt car guy. So we both, well, you know, they both gave space. It's nice to see. Good sportsmanship stuff. Makes a change from the video I made earlier in the week. Hey, at this track. Continue on now to there then. We're right behind Hellsfire here. Where's Hellsfire going? We're going to stick behind them for now. There's a tiny bit of contact there. Nothing major. Just in that braking zone. Everybody's fine as we go through here. Oh, the McLaren into barrier. Well, we're going to keep that position then in P13 and into the left. And in fact, we're going to advance a bit further on here as we've got Dino and Harpic Mick up ahead now. Hellsfire's jumped those two as we're looking down the inside. Not going to quite work here. That is the meta car right there, the Toyota Supra. And yes, it wasn't the meta car oh, hello. What's Dino doing there? That was a bit weird. So it wasn't the meta car previously, as we know, because the Supra wasn't very good. But what happens every year is during the winter months, PD sort of made the Supra not that good, to be honest with you. Nobody really talks about it. And then when the official season's about to start, because Toyota is a partner, well, that's just a bit of conspiracy there, that Toyota's the partner and this is why they do it, but I suspect it is the case. They give it a nice old buff and then suddenly it becomes the most OP thing since sliced bread. And sliced bread is OP, if you did not know that. So Dino couldn't keep the position there in that Toyota Supra. Now Harpic Mick has fallen behind there, and that was due to a penalty. So if you ever don't show an overtake, it's because of a penalty here. As we got to try and get past Dino, we got Dung Beetle up ahead, also in a Supra. But we've got a long train of cars. We still see a lot of places here that we can make up. And you're probably like, Tidge, how can you beat the meta from the back of the grid? The answer is I can't. This first race is always about, can we beat it in the first place? Can we race it? And at the moment, we're showing we can race that Toyota Supra. It's going to be very hard to do because it's so fast in a straight line. It is ridiculously fast in a straight line. Oh, it's possible. We can still race it and we can still see what we can do as we head on out of there and head up to this top of the hill. And it's this section here where we have to use the RCZ's advantage. It is so good in this section. As you can see, look at that. We just get right on the back of Dino. Really, really close to that exhaust then. As we head to this fast left, we just want to lift here. Try and clip the curb if we can. Look how close. Look, we have to lift because Dino can't carry as much speed here. As we head towards the right And we do want to clip the curb there. The curb helps out so much there on that right-hander as we leave that corner. Then we're going to head across the start-finish line and start lap number 7. Yes, we're already at lap number 7 in this race. Yes, I've cut a bit out here and there because it's the boring bits. And I want to show you the exciting stuff. Oh, are we going to get a penalty for that? That was very close to being off the track as we go through the right-hander then up the hill. Yes, we are. 0.5. Oh, man, I'm trying everything here to get past this Supra. First lap 9 then, we've taken that penalty. I'm going to go into the right-hander. Nothing really changed there. Dung Beetle, though, going very, 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 very slowly here. So maybe there's something they shouldn't have seen or wanted to see. Maybe some dung on the side. I don't know. Dung Beetles look for dung, don't they? That's why they're called that. Anyway, let's get back racing Dino, shall we? In that Toyota Supra. So continuing on down this back straight then. Going to look potentially down the inside. Oh, we're struggling to keep up here. We really are. We're in the slipstream. We just can't carry enough speed. That Supra is so... Oh, wow. I had to slow up there, didn't I? To really slow up. Otherwise, Dino was being sent to Narnia there because Dino got a bit of understeer. And this is where I start to see a weakness. A weakness, folks, of the Toyota Supra. And you're going to see it right about now. Again, Dino struggling with that understeer in that car. And in fact, we go into the back of them. So we're just going to back out of this. Let them go again. Continue on. Tyre wear. Now, we know tyre wear is significant in this race. You can see that down in the bottom left, actually. But the Toyota Supra has always suffered with a bit of understeer. Now, with the tyre wear being so high here and understeer being prevalent there, as Dino goes for that right side to defend there, goes back across. Tyre wear being prevalent, understeer being prevalent. Obviously, the understeer will increase with that tyre wear. The end of the race may be where our advantage is, and that's what we're going to try and look for here. So my strategy, my tactic has just come into play. I need to stay with the Supra until the end of the race and then go for the overtake like I'm doing right now. Around the outside of Dino. Well played, Dino. Give me some room there as we head towards that left-hander, and we're going to get the pass done up into P9 then. But that is my strategy. That's the strategy that formed. This is a part of the doing this last 2 whatever position challenge in the first race. Form a strategy. Identify weaknesses, identify strengths, identify what I can do in this car, which will outdo the car ahead of me. This time it's Asphenium as we go down the inside as they took that penalty. I'm going to get that stopped and done. Up into P8 we go on the penultimate lap. We advance to the final lap then. And we can see here, I just want to show you the strength of that Supra. It was 0.477 there on the gap as we zoomed in. It's now 3 tenths. It is now 2.5 tenths. I'm having to defend here. It's now under 2 tenths. It is now 1/10%. Look how fast that thing is. It is monstrous, but we're just going to keep the gap there. So it's around half a second. As long as we're ahead by about half a second on that first turn, corner, whatever you want to call it. I can't name it at the moment. Then we should be fine. So we advance towards the end of the lap. Then Hellfire going really slowly. I'm not sure why. Maybe Hellfire wants to comment in the description. No, edit. Not in the description, in the comment section. You can't edit or put a comment in the description. What's going on today? Other than it being lovely and sunny on a bank holiday Friday. Anyway, we're going to advance towards the line then. And P7, not too bad in the first race. We've definitely seen some weaknesses there of the Supra. In fact, the BMW one there of Key, of course. You can check out Key on YouTube. Also, Hellfire has YouTube in his name. So Hellfire obviously does YouTube as well. Everybody doing YouTube now as we go to the next race. And we have the GOAT of YouTube. It's Super GT. It's Steve. I'm good friends with Steve. I do like Steve. I think he's a legend. As we go past the Peugeot RCZ there of Pat Maris. So we're going to head towards turn 1. And my goal here, because I'm starting ahead of Steve, I want to stay ahead of Steve, even though Steve is in that Toyota Supra. So we're going to go into that right hand there. I'm going to leave it. We'll see a Lexus ahead of us here. Also, technically a Toyota. Lexus is a part of the Toyota group, as far as I'm aware. Somebody can comment otherwise. We're going to go past them. That Shrike. Hopefully not going to get a strike going bowling into any turns here. But we continue on through into P9 then. We've got Benbow Baggins, part of TCR. There's a big TCR update coming up, folks. If you're part of TCR, check it out. If you want to be a part of TCR, also check it out. It is coming up. And yeah, it'll be hopefully in the Sunday's video or it'll be future. We get the chicane, all sorts of wrong there. The Lexus looking back for a way past here. But no. I do not want you past here. I'm keeping P9. I do not want Steve passing me at any point. Who's behind you? So, going to go defensive into this left-hander. I'm going to keep that position for now. Benbow Baggins gets, unfortunately, a 0.5 second penalty. Let's go a bit further forward here in terms of the race then. Benbow taking that then. Half-second penalty. Not huge, but significant. Benbow goes defensive then in towards the right-hander in the orange. The orange machine is like an arrows from F1 as we continue on through them. Up towards the left, Bembo defending again, goes a little bit deep here. I did notice that very quickly as we go in through there. Oh, a bit of oversteer for Bembo. I think they touched the barrier there as well. We're going to take P8 then and continue on through, and that is happy days indeed. We all love happy days. Happy, happy, happy days. And there's another one because Matthew's got a penalty. And we actually see that the RCZ is quite competitive versus that BMW. I'm not sure whether it's the endurance or the sprint. We should see it in the endurance model there on the right side. I think there's a tiny bit of difference between the two, but I'm not sure what that difference is yet as we go into the left. Maybe we'll find out in the car profiles in the future. They are coming. Now we've had that physics change, I can now continue that series, which should be awesome, hopefully. Lap number 4 then, and look who's behind me. It's Steve. Steve is behind me, so I pushed like crazy through here and got it slightly wrong. I'm going to get a penalty there, and a penalty of, what is it going to be? It's going to be 0.5. So we saw earlier, if that's not significant, we should be able to keep our position. However, Steve gets one as well, so we're going to stay ahead of Steve here. Hellfire going to get in the mix. We actually catch up to Zubituzzo. Buongiorno, Mr. Italiano. We're going to try and overtake you. I'm going to stop being Italian now as we continue on through here. The Hellfire gets a good run on me here, going towards that left-hand side. Looking to carry that speed with the slipstream there. Going to head towards the chicane then. I was giving this up because I was quite far ahead. And Hellfire shows how a world finalist does and should drive there. Perfect side-by-side action through there. We saw it early on as well with Hellfire. Beautiful racing there with Hellfire, of course, as we head into turn 1. Slight contact between the two up ahead. Not sure whether that was just not leaving enough space or not. No idea, but we're going to take advantage of that. Get up into P7 and hopefully chase our favourite position. And Steve's, who is in this race, P6. So let's see what happens here. We've got Ruiz catching me up then in the same car as Hellfire. And now you're going to see the RCZ is quite quick in a straight line. And that GTR struggles at the top end. Obviously because it's a brick. It's massive, that thing, the GTR. Just struggles with the top end here. So we can retake that line and go into the chicane. So it's keeping P7. So now I have a bit of strategy with both the GTR and the Supra. We know the Supra's going to struggle at the end. And look who's behind me once again. It's Steve! Now, Steve's in that Supra. We know it's half a second difference. He's going to catch me up. But unfortunately for Steve, he's got another penalty. Goodbye, Steve. Nice seeing you, mate. Do help Steve get to 1 million subscribers if you can. He's on his way there right now. He's like 200k off, which is very close in the grand scheme of 100 million. So, through the right-hander we go then. Andrew is, once again, very close behind me here on lap number 11. 11, not 11. There was an E there, Tidge, as we go through the left. I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. Force Ruiz 2 hours outside. Then he can't overtake me. And then he's so close, he can't really get in slipstream and get a good run on me. So here, we're looking to keep the position. Now, I couldn't move over because I was a bit unsure with the ping distance. Not unsure if you're a bit unsure what ping distance is. It's something I've talked about in previous videos. Essentially, the car is in a different place to where you think it is. Oh, Ruiz looking down inside there. Trying to take advantage. Doesn't quite work out there. Beautiful effort, though. Real beautiful effort as we continue on. We're going to be side by side as we head towards this left-hander then. And F1 Slayer's getting in the mix now in that BMW. Now, if those two fight, maybe we can break away here and keep a P7. Let's see what we can do then as we head towards the right-hander. In we go. Now, Slayer's trying around the outside in the RC. Well, he's in the BMW. I'm in the RCZ, the outside of it. But Ruiz, unfortunately, gets a whole load of oversteer. Meets barrier. So we're going to advance towards the very next lap. The final lap here. It's BMW slight tap there with Slayers. I think they let off there to let me go from that slight tap. Now it's back racing with Slayers as we continue on towards this right-hander. Going to go defensive then in towards braking zone. We go. Slayers looking around the outside. Very hard to do here. What is he going to do? Is he going to do it? No way he's going to do it. Oh, he is as well. Well played, Slayers. Well played. That was a really good move around the outside. Don't see that very often at all. Obviously, this all adds to my strategy in the end. My overall strategy versus the Supra. Maybe I can do that myself in the RCZ. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see as we go into the left-hander. Now, can we overtake Slayers before the line? You know, forced into a mistake here. Going to this right-hander. That's a lot of understeer here. They're going to... Oh, I think they clipped the barrier. Not quite smashing it here. But we're going to head towards the line then. P8. And we're still ahead of Steve there. So we did beat Steve in the end. Sorry, Steve. It's nice beating the GOAT once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey. Get you back for Austria. Anyway... Right, let's head to race number 3 then. Because race number 3, this one... Oh, toughie. This is the very next day. We're in the 45s now in terms of lap time. Starting P6 in this one. As we go through that first right-hander then, there's a bit of contact up ahead between two cars. It's going to force some side-by-side action, which is good for us. Because if we can get in the thick of the action... Maybe we can take some of that advantage. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, as that graphic shows, subscribe to it. Give it a like. This video if you are enjoying it. Right, we've got a race versus this BMW. We know we can take on the BMW in the straight line at least. So that's Supra behind me, though. We're having to slow down as we head into the chicane for the first time of 12. Going through here, then. Lots of side-by-side action. You look down the inside of that BMW as they try around the outside of that Supra. Very hard to go on the outside here, but makes it work. Keeps that position for now as we head towards that left-hander, and status quo for now. Oh, no, status quo. I'm looking around the outside there as we continue on then, and there's a good bit of action this, isn't it? Very good action straight off in this race. I do like lap one in this race when you get clean driving, as we're seeing right now. Some clean driving, you know, there's a little bit of contact that we saw on turn one, but other than that, it's been clean. People are giving each other space. This is the kind of racing I want to see all the time. It really, really is. As we head towards this right-hander, then the BMW looking down inside. Flash Dagger sees that, gives a bit of space there. Going to continue on out. I'm going to look down the outside. Look at that. I was a bit cheeky there. It's getting down the outside. Going to be inside for this left-hander then. Looking to get the job done. And through we go. Getting ahead of that BMW M6 Sprint model and up into P5. Now, unfortunately, for the driver behind, they are so embarrassed by the fact the RCZ's just done them with that move. They're going to leave the race there, unfortunately, for Mawax. I'm sure it's not because of that, but hey, we're going to say it's that because it makes it a bit more fun in this video. Anyway, through the right-hander we go. Flash Dagger about to get a whole load of oversteer. Slams on the brakes. Unfortunately, we hit them and get sent to meet barrier and get that stupid penalty. Who invented the penalty system to have 5 seconds at Watkins Glen? Because it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So 5 seconds of penalties here. Very, very, very frustrating indeed. Now we're going to continue on out of there. Going to head up to this left-hander, and the Porsche absolutely sends it here to make it 3 wide. Bit of contact there. Through we go, and we're just getting a bit squashed here. Bit of contact there, forces a bit of oversteer, and we go straight into the Portuguese driver there, unfortunately, who did say hello in the lobby. So hello to you. And I've got 10 seconds now because, yeah, apparently that didn't, slow me down enough. Now, I quit that race. I then went and set a time of 45.5, and we're starting P2 here. Yeah, I rage quit. You don't see me rage quit very often, but I rage quit that thing. I was just like, I can't be bothered with that. What's the point? 10 seconds. I'm going to be so far back anyway. Set a decent lap time here, and then entered this lobby in P2. I was like, okay, we got a shot here. Strategy. We know the strategy here. We've got to try and keep up with the Supra as much as we can in the first part of the race. Second part of the race is where we need to take advantage of the used tyres of the Supra, the understeer of that Toyota Supra. So we're down to lap number 7 now. We just lost touch with that Supra as we go into the left. Now, I cut that quite a bit, if I do say so myself. I got a 1 second penalty. Oh, my word, a 1 second penalty. I thought it was all over. Look how much we were gaining at this point in time. Thought it was all over here. So we take that penalty, and yeah, people are going to go by. We've got another Supra going by, the GTR going by. Basically, the strongest cars at this track. Oh, my word. I was gutted. I was thinking, I think this is impossible. These two fighting, of course, so let's try and see if we can beat the impossible here. The Supra goes a bit deep here. Get on the inside of that GTR. Allows us to go through then, back up into P3. Now, we know the weakness of that GTR is going to be the top end, so as long as we can stay far enough away here that when we hit the top end, we're already ahead, then we can do an okay job. But we've got to get past not one Toyota Supra now, but two. Two of the damn things. We've been setting quite good lap times there. 46.5, my fastest. You can definitely get a low 46 here in the RCZ if you absolutely perfect the lap. I did have some bit iffy laps in this race as we go into the right-hander. Again, I have to lift a little bit there. Bit of understeer. That GTR very close to me once again, but I do have a bit of slipstream to help me out as we go up the hill. It sort of matches us out here with Godzilla. The 18 Godzilla, not the 13 one. I did say that earlier on. As we continue on. So I'm going to take that racing line knowing that if that GTR pulls out, they can't overtake me there. And look at that. I knew it when I was doing it at the time. As we go into the right, then left. Oh, that's going out a lot. Please tell me I don't get them a penalty here. No, I don't. Whew. Thank goodness for that. I'm going to head into this braking zone then. We're still very close to this Supra then as we continue on through. Actually get a really good run. So remember last time, Flash Dagger struggled on that corner. In fact, we're actually catching Flash Dagger even in this battle here. So I knew the tyres were going to Flash Dagger. I could see that down to 1.8 seconds. It was over 2 when we took that penalty. And we're looking down the inside of Jack. Going to beat it out of here. It's quick. Oh, a bit of oversteer. Had to lift off there. Otherwise, I was hitting Jack. And then Jack would have had another visit there to barrier. But not another. Maybe it's their first visit. I don't know. Through the left we go then. Going to continue on here in this fight. That gap nearly up to 2 seconds again to Flash Dagger. But still, we have 4 laps of racing remaining. So if I get past Jack as quick as possible, it's not all over. But it's going to be hard. so very hard. Let's fast forward towards turn 1 then. As we go into here, Jack really does that very slow, and we actually get a really good run here on Jack. We're actually going to get a bit of an advantage getting the inside of that Supra. We're going to go into this right, and I think Jack is just worrying about understeer maybe, or lets me go. I'm not too sure. Either or. Thank you so much, Jack. I'll take that. 2.5 seconds now to catch up to Flash Dagger. 2.5 seconds. Can we do it? It's down to 1.8 seconds now on the very next lap. So I'm pushing like crazy now. I'm absolutely pushing. And if we look ahead here, I noticed as I was racing, I noticed Flash Dagger went a little bit wide there. I know you get a 0.5 second penalty for that. And as you're about to see, Flash Dagger gets that 0.5 second penalty. So we advance to where Flash Dagger's already taken it. We're under a second to Flash Dagger. 2 laps to go, folks. 2 laps. Can we do it then? In towards turn 1 we go. Try and get it accelerated out as quick as possible. And look, Flash Dagger's wide again. Surely that's another penalty. At least that's what I was thinking. And is it going to happen? Yes, it is. So I know if I get close here, if I get close to Flash Dagger, I've got a super duper chance of overtaking the Supra. And we know it struggles at the end of the race. Here we go, folks. It gets exciting. Oh, I got 1.5 laps to go. Flash Dagger goes defensive then, trying to slow me down, trying to force me back into that GTR as we continue on out of there then. Flash Dagger going to take that inside. I'm going to be on the outside at this moment in time as we head towards this right hand. They're going to turn in. Flash Dagger goes a bit deep there, just push me out a little bit wide here. Going to continue on through. Now, I didn't expect this. Flash Dagger stays on the racing line, which confuses both me and the GTR there. GTR pushes me, but bit of netcode gives me a bit of a boost past that Toyota Supra. We are in the lead. We are in the lead. In the lead. Right, okay, so what we have to do now, folks, we have to push like crazy in our strong sector. Remember what I said earlier on in the video? This is our strongest sector. We get to about 6, 7, 8 tenths out of here, we've got a good opportunity to do it. Let's have a look at that gap then. It's 6 tenths of a second as we head towards the fast left-hander. Going to turn in, clip that curve, look at it rotating very nicely. It's over 6 tenths now. Going to head towards this right-hander. Once again, clip that curve, boost it as fast as we can. It's 7 tenths a second. It's 8 tenths of a second. In fact, it's so good, we win the race. We win the race in the Peugeot RCZ. I was buzzing after this. I still haven't got my silly face cam on the screen yet for Beat the Meta, but I literally went, boom, yes, cheered. We beat the Meta. We beat the Supras. Even when the penalties were coming in, we beat it. I was over the moon. If you have enjoyed this video, folks, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content, including Beat the Meta for every single car this year in Group 3 and Group 4. We're doing it. That's it for me once again. 2 videos there to check out. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.